welcome to the Planning Analytics Deep Dive, where we explore the depths of planning analytics one dive at a time. Today I am joined by Marius Wirtz, the father of Human Pie, and Steve Waterbury, and we're here to talk to you about a couple of things that are coming up next week at IBM TechXchange in Las Vegas. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having us.
Good.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about, TechXchange in general, the kind of stuff that we're going to be doing and seeing there, but also specifically, there's a fun lab, I guess, Marius, that you're going to be taking part in. Maybe we could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's really exciting. TechXchange next week. So we will help out to run the IBM lab that was developed by JP and Max from IBM Germany. We will use WatsonX and TM1Pi to build a virtual assistant, a virtual AI planning assistant for planning analytics. And that's really exciting. So that's what people can do in a hands-on environment.
That's really cool, Marius. It's interesting because we actually Andrew and I did a video a little bit ago on something similar that we've put together in here. So, it's interesting when I was doing that, and I'm just curious your take on this. I was using a lot of Python and TM1Pi related stuff in this. How do you view Python and TM1Pi sort of as it relates to this new world of AI and the AI tools that we have out there?
I think TM1Pi is kind of like an enabler, like the actual like heavy lifting, the real AI stuff is sort of like happening in WatsonX, and the TM1Pi just allows us to seamlessly, connect the two things, connect our planning analytics with all the good stuff that lives in WatsonX.
Yeah, that's really, really good. I mean, do you feel like there's really an expansion of capabilities sitting out there of things that we can do even beyond just, normal LLM things, but like other capabilities that you might be able to go off and leverage some, not just generative AI, but also traditional AI capabilities that, decision optimization and, CPlex and some of these other tools that IBM has in the WatsonX platform and sort of the IBM cloud out there. Like, are those tools that you feel like really, we can leverage TM1Pi to take advantage of, or would you say there's something else that we would need to be looking forward to?
Yeah. I think the tools that you mentioned, like CPlex for decision optimization, time series forecasting capabilities that are available in WatsonX, it's like a buffet of awesome features, right? That we can tap into.
Speaking of Vegas, we have the buffet.
Exactly, there's a buffet.
Yeah,
not just prime rib anymore.
Which ones, Steve? Have you had like hands-on experience with some of these tools? Which ones do you think stand out?
Yeah. So I actually did a project recently. Actually, we're talking about it at TechXchange. So if you want to, my shameless plug, come and see us at the Navy TechXchange presentation. But yeah, no. So in that project, we used some of the WatsonX tooling, and we actually leveraged TM1Pi and some of the Python capabilities to sort of bring that data over and integrate our TM1 database that we were using into the CPlexes and the WatsonX, the decision optimization engines for different aspects of it. And then the other thing that we were able to do is we were able to leverage more traditional Python-based AI techniques in there, so genetic algorithms and things like that, to be able to leverage it against TM1 itself, where TM1 is our database engine here, and Python is doing kind of the data sciencey side of things. So there's a world of things that at least in my experience, I've seen both between, just sort of basic traditional AI stuff, as well as, the integrations with the WatsonX stuff and the IBM stack.
Steve, do you think it's fair to say that WatsonX helps deploying even non-IBM machine learning stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the recent transitions that they've had, or I guess not transitions, but the recent additions that they've had for you to sort of bring your own foundation model into WatsonX. I was talking to somebody about this a little bit ago, and they were asking, what really is the differentiator there, right? And for me, I see it a couple different ways. So, like normally, if you're going to deploy generative AI or AI, right, you got to make a choice, right? And your choice is, I have to choose ChatGPT, or I have to choose Llama, or whatever the one that you guys have decided to do us. But what IBM has really done, right, is they've taken and they've built a platform for you to be enabled on any AI tooling that you choose. Whether it is a generative AI tool, whether it is a traditional AI tool, you can access all of them from within the one WatsonX framework. And then you have the governance piece of it on top of it, which is really great because it allows you to make sure that you have consistency, scalability, for the generative AI and the LLMs, you're removing bias and you're, enforcing your organizational standards and compliance requirements within the AI landscape, all within your one single WatsonX stack. And so I look at, back to the Python stuff, as we were talking about it, and it really allows you to be able to scale up the power of your TM1 data by linking it back into this sort of giant, awesome sort of container of things, an engine, so to speak, for you to be able to leverage all this great tech that's coming out today.
And right, and vice versa, right? So, I mean, you had said, Marius, is Watson, sort of an enabler for, this stuff, and originally you had said TM1Pi was the enabler, right? So we did a video a couple weeks back with Nick Renat, and he's showing us all this other cool Python stuff that, you're really bringing it all together, right? So you're bringing together all of the, LLMs and all of the other decision optimization and stuff we're just talking about in Watson with some of the other sort of, maybe even more traditional stuff that you were already doing in Python, that kind of Steve was mentioning, right? Some of the, machine learning stuff. And, so it's really kind of a brave new world, right?
I think some of the value that WatsonX brings is also the fact that it's like a trusted brand with IBM, right? It's running on the IBM cloud in a governed, secure environment. I think for a lot of organizations that is more appealing than something like OpenAI or some of these new companies coming up that offer.
Well, a lot of these organizations already, and they're already working with IBM, right? They already probably have, some of their stuff with planning analytics and, IBM. So sort of just makes more sense in a way.
Yeah, and taking it back actually even to the lab that you're going to be working with here, Marius, right? So, you look at WatsonX and the ease of entry, the sort of barrier to entry is much lower for you to be able to get in there and begin actually using some of this stuff, Yeah. So I think if people come and actually, come view the lab, come watch it or whatever, and, I think they'll see that, right? That it's not like you need a, PhD in data science to be able to go and begin leveraging some of this stuff. Okay. Marius, thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited to see you next week. I'll be at TechXchange. I know, Andrew, are you going to be there?
Absolutely, yeah, and we're all looking forward to seeing everybody at this lab. But please come join us. We're having the TM1 World Championship event as well, so come take part in that. Win a free trip to Germany. Join. Steve is going to be co-presenting with another colleague of ours and some folks from the Navy. So we're really looking forward to seeing y'all there. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Bye.